Hello there. What is going on, everybody? We're going to talk about Fantasy Flight Games in-flight brief at Gen Con. This just happened yesterday. There was a lot of news, and it was largely considered to be a massive disappointment by a lot of viewers. I'm going to talk about why, but it's not all disappointment. There was definitely some very cool stuff, some new sets that were teased for Star Wars Unlimited. We're going to break it all down for you. Also going to do that big giveaway for the $25 Amazon gift card at the end of this video. So if you are paying attention to enter to win any of my giveaways, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. If you're already subscribed, you're already halfway there. So the big thing that came out of the Fantasy Flight Games in-flight report was a look at set number 3, Twilight of the Republic for Star Wars Unlimited. Now, before I get too far into this, I do want to preface it that they did talk about other games as well. They talked about Marvel Champions. They talked about a new set that's coming out, that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They talked about some other things like there is going to be a Cthulhu arriving in Arkham Horror. They also showed a planet for Twilight Imperium that definitely teased some more Twilight Imperium content. And maybe it's going to be another expansion. I hope it's not just like another book or something like that. It sounds like it could be some downloadable stuff, but like something, they said it was going to be bigger than a codex. So there's definitely some new stuff coming for Twilight Imperium. I definitely hope it's another expansion or something else in the Twilight Imperium universe, like perhaps a whole other type of game in the Twilight Imperium universe. I would love... I was hoping it were going to be some kind of Twilight Imperium Armada or something like that. That would be really cool. We'll have to wait and see. Also, the Star Wars deck building game, they showed a preview video of the Clone Wars Star Wars deck building game, which is stuff we've already seen, so I don't know why they chose to use like time in their in-flight report to talk about stuff that's been spoiled for like 2 months already. But they did confirm that there is more coming for the Star Wars deck building game. They are not stopping with just this set. So that's cool, although no hints of what exactly is coming up next, but there's plenty of stuff they can do with it. However, now we're going to talk about the Twilight of the Republic. So this is largely a Clone Wars based set. It's going to feature lots of stuff from the Clone Wars. They teased a whole lot of things. This is a really good looking set, frankly. It's going to have a starter deck that features General Grievous versus Ahsoka. And pretty much everything they showed us from this set was all Clone Wars focused. Now, typically these sets have stuff that's outside of their theme in them, so I'm sure there will be some cards that are not Clone Wars in here, but they didn't spoil that sort of stuff. Now, this is coming out November 8th is when they're targeting this for release. We do have a little bit of a look at General Grievous here. He's going to work well with droids. He is he's a 6 cost. He's a 6 flip. He is going to give droid +1/+0 and sentinel, which is really nice. When you attack with him, if he's a leader mode, you can just use an action to give a droid sentinel. This is going to be more important, I assume, if we kind of see how droids. I imagine B1s are probably going to be a 1 cost. You know, they should be kind of cheap. So, you know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. This is, you know, he'll matter more once we see what droids actually look like. Ahsoka, on the other hand, is she's a 5 cost flip. She's a 3/6, and she has coordinate to get +2/+0. So coordinate was described as being something that you can do. This is one of those new keywords in this set. If you have 3 or more units, if you control 3 or more units, you can use coordinate, and that's pretty cool. It's like a teamwork thing. It sounds very clone oriented. I would imagine a lot of clones will have that. I wouldn't be surprised if like Rex has that and certain other 501st characters have that. That'd be a kind of a cool thing. And so these are going to be the 2 leaders that come in the starter for the Twilight of the Republic. There's also been another preview card that has been teased. They are doing this big promotional set. They're doing this promotional set at San Diego Comic-Con and Gen Con, and I think like maybe one other con. I really wish I was able to get these. If you happen to have a spare, if you're at one of these cons and you happen to get one of these, let me know. I would love to. I'd love to reimburse you for a copy of it. I'd love to get a copy of these because these are really, really cool looking cards. I absolutely love them. The Asajj Ventress here was also, people had seen this. It had been floating around. She has a keyword called exploit, exploit 2. And so basically they did describe this also in the in-flight report. It said when you deploy, you can defeat friendly units equal to the exploit value to reduce her cost. So this is a way for her to get out cheaper, like basically stabbing, or eating your own units in order to get out there. And I don't really think that she's a vampire, but maybe she'll just like step over the, disposable heroes, and she just don't care. She's ruthless. Oh God, I love that art on her. Now this isn't necessarily what her normal card is going to look like. This is one that's out there for those convention exclusives. Very cool stuff though. So I'd love to get my hands on some of this. Very cool stuff. But one of the more interesting things is we got a release schedule for the next 3 sets after Twilight of the Republic. So we're only at set 2 right now. So we kind of have the next 4 sets that were kind of spoiled today. However, there was a reason I said this was a disappointment, and it's because we had to sit through 20 plus minutes or so of Gamegenic stuff. So half of the in-flight brief was all about deck pods and sleeves and playmats from Gamegenic. It was just a giant Gamegenic commercial, and it's so disappointing. Fantasy Flight has done this before, where they hype a big event. Oh, come check out this big live stream we're going to have. It's going to be a big deal, everybody. It's going to be this awesome live stream. They had me fooled, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, we're going to spoil some future products. No, you're just going to spoil Star Wars Unlimited. And, I think we all knew it was going to be Clone Wars already. A lot of people did, at least. But for the next set. But then the whole thing is just Gamegenic. It's like, oh, hey, we have, instead of blue backed sleeves now, we have green backed sleeves and red backed sleeves and other lightsaber colors on the back of sleeves. I'm like, I don't know about you guys. I know that some people really, like this stuff, but you could tell by the chat and you could tell by the audience. Like, people were kind of clapping for things when they said Twilight Republic. People were clapping and clapping. And then when Gamegenic came out, everybody's like, oh, okay. He's like, look, when we have new sleeves. Okay. And we have another kind of new sleeve. Okay. And we have that exact same art we just showed you on Ahsoka as on the back of another sleeve. Okay. And here's one with Grievous. The applause was abysmal. And it just kept going on and on and on and on and on. And while technically he spoiled, yes, oh, I have a spoiler for you guys. Here's art of Obi-Wan Kenobi that will be on a Gamegenic sleeve. Like, okay, of course Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be in a Clone Wars set. Like, that's not a spoiler to me. I don't know. I was very disappointed that it was 20 minutes of just Gamegenic commercial after commercial after commercial. And then they make us sit through all of that, and then they come back and like, oh, and here's this graphic, and that's it. And you're like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, you're gonna give us something more than this. However, this is still pretty cool because this is talking about the next 3 sets. So set 4 is gonna be out in March, targeting March of 2025. The Jump to Lightspeed expansion, which I imagine will have a lot of pilots and more ships and cool things and Wedge Antilles and Soontir Fells and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But it's that set number 5, that Legends of the Force in July of next year, which has me really excited. I think that's going to be by far the most interesting set imaginable for this game because Legends is so at the center of this. And Legends is big. The text and the font for Legends is bigger than the font in anything else. It's massive, massively proportionate to anything else. So that tells me that set number 5 is going to have Legends. That means that maybe Fantasy Flight got the rights to do Star Wars Legends stuff, which means Starkiller, Dash Rendar, Xizor, Mara Jade, and the list goes on and on. All of this stuff could potentially be in there. And how cool would that be? I mean, that would be really cool if they did a whole Legends set. I mean, I'll be disappointed if they put Legends in big, bold text like that, and it just turns out to be like, oh no, it's just characters from a long time ago. Like, it might not be Legends, but hopefully it's Legends. Now, if it's not like Legends, like the EU Legends, then maybe it's like old stuff, like Old Republic or the High Republic, or older characters from characters of Legend or whatever. But realistically, it needs to be characters from Legends, like characters from the EU, popular stuff. There's plenty of them. There's plenty to go around. I think it. Plus, Fantasy Flight used to be able to make stuff. Like, early X-Wing had tons of Legends characters in there. Why not take advantage of those? I think that's a great opportunity. And hopefully that's what that means. Secrets of Power. There were some tweets going around about the Secrets of Power expansion. It's hard to know exactly what this is. I have a theory. But that basically that set has a whole theme and design that is going to set it apart from the other sets a little bit. My prediction is that Secrets of Power is probably going to leverage some of the stuff that we have seen in Star Wars Visions. The designer who tweeted about it said something, I had a vision for this set. And I don't know if that was meant to be like a tongue-in-cheek remark, but that immediately that triggered the memory of Visions in my mind. And I think that could actually work. I think because of the nature of Star Wars Unlimited, and if it is truly unlimited, and if they're going to, especially if they can do Legends stuff, then they can definitely do animated stuff like Star Wars Visions. I mean, if that's not canon either. So if they can do stuff that's not canon, why couldn't Visions be in there? It sounds like it could be fun. It could be fun to do stuff from Visions. There were 2 seasons of Visions, so there's plenty of content that you could do. So I think it could be fun. I'm not a big fan of Visions personally, but there's still some cool things in there, and so that could be fun. But I'm more interested in set number 5, Legends of the Force. I'm pretty excited about that one. So that was all we got out of the in-flight report. Not a whole lot. The big thing being the Twilight of the Republic spoilers, and honestly, Gamegenic had most of the presentation, more than any other game. There was more of Gamegenic than there was of Star Wars Unlimited. That's crazy to me. So, yeah, I'm surprised. And another thing that was really interesting about this entire in-flight brief, it was only cards, only card games, only cards. Nothing new was teased for board games. I mean, technically, Twilight Imperium logo was there, but there was nothing. They didn't announce it. It could just be a download, a digital expansion, or it could just be a card-based expansion for Twilight Imperium. I don't know why Fantasy Flight Games isn't making board games anymore. And if they have no board games on the horizon for this year, if they had at least one, they probably would have talked about it. It's exclusively card games, so it's disappointing to me seeing Fantasy Flight switch from a board and card, or just a gaming company, to just Fantasy Flight game board and card, and now it's not board games anymore. It's just card games. And the thing is, I don't hate card games, but it's just weird to me that they've made this transition, and they're neglecting so much from the board game world that is really good. I was really hoping to see something else for Star Wars Rebellion, or I was also expecting something else for Outer Rim, something like that. Maybe a Clone Wars Rebellion, or a new expansion for Rebellion, or taking a look at the flight path system that is still owned with X-Wing, and being able to make a cardboard or something, some other version of X-Wing or Armada. I don't know why they couldn't do anything like that at all. It's astounding to me that they hyped this event up that much, and it was just a Gamegenic, it was mostly a Gamegenic commercial. Really weird. It wasn't fun. I would have been very disappointed if I made an effort to get out there primarily to go to this event, which is one of the things I really wanted to do, and that was what I got out of it. Yikes. All right, but either way, some good and some bad. The new sets look pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see until we get more spoilers, but November is going to be a Clone Wars card game era with Twilight of the Republic coming out. That's all I've got for today, guys. We do also have a giveaway winner to announce, so let's go ahead and do that. Today's winner is Luxon86. Congratulations, Luxon86. Go ahead and shoot me an email over at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and I will get you squared away. If you did not win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway, don't worry. There are plenty more giveaways that will be happening, and also some in Discord right now and some on Patreon. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. Always wash your socks.